quello che ammazza tutto.
Che sa? Dove sei? Io sono là.
Too excited.
Good evening. I really wanted to thank everyone for having come from far to be here as we celebrate the 150th anniversary of La Stampa, and the way we wanted to celebrate it as La Stampa becomes part of a bigger Gruppo Editoriale, GEDI, next week, was to think about the future of newspapers, which all of you care very much. And so does our Prime Minister, Paolo Gentiloni, who is a journalist, who thinks newspapers are important, that governments should not help newspapers, but newspapers should found solutions, which they will, based on what we heard today. And we're very honored that you're here with us tonight, and very happy that you will speak to us not about the future of Italy, who has a great future, but the future of newspapers, who after today, we also hope has a great future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, John. My career as a journalist was not so lucky as the political one. But in fact, it's true that I'm very, very interested on the press, on journalism, on media. I had also the opportunity, maybe 10 years ago, to serve as Minister for Communication, and this also helped me to give a look to your world. So I'm very pleased to be here with the big players of this world. I am very interested in. And so first of all, thank you, John, thank you for inviting me to this special evening for the 150th anniversary of La Stampa. So we are seeing here around signs of the history of this city and the contribution that your family gave to this city is very well known, and La Stampa is one of the objects of this contribution. What should we expect from the future of newspaper? I think that this is a question that many of us would like to be able to answer. Sure, I am not the one, but I'll give you some remarks and some views. A very well-known quote from Mark Twain was, "Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it." And this quote enhances the value of what it seems to deny, the importance of truth and the importance of having access to accurate and reliable information. Today, many distinguished protagonists in the world of journalism and publishing have exchanged views about their experience, your experience, and the different situation you face at this stage. The great challenges that the world of journalism is experiencing offer a useful perspective to interpret many ongoing transformations in the world. It seems clear that we are facing a big paradox at a global level. Thanks to the internet and the spread of new devices, the ability of newspapers to reach the public has never been so high. But at the same time, it is increasingly difficult to transform this ability into a business model. In general, many publishers have been reorganizing their process. In Italy, and I take the opportunity to welcome this, the merger of the Espresso Group with the Teddy Group, headed by La Stampa, is an important operation that opens many interesting avenues and makes our country proud of having one of the largest publishing groups in Europe. And I heard that you are closing in the next days, so I hope that all we are saying is of good luck for this operation. So we are witnessing a great creative effort. Those who care about the world of newspapers follow with curiosity and attention this ongoing endeavor of reinvention. The challenges that the world of journalism is experiencing, which are of great importance to us, the politicians, reflect the situation that many other business sectors that are being restructured are now experiencing. We are living in a delicate time of human history. Someone defined it the age of acceleration, an era in which for the first time in history there is a gap between the speed of change and our ability to adapt. We must not be caught off guard by this gap. We have generated it ourselves, and it is evidence of the extraordinary liveliness of our economies and of our firms, the incredible capabilities of our university and of our research centers. Of course, this adaptation gap, coupled with the effect of the economic crisis that are still visible, has impacted the whole world. We are tempted to question many of our past achievements, the pillars of the open economy and the open society that have supported decades of peace and prosperity. We are trying to answer all these questions at international level, and we did it in Italy at the last G7 summit in Taormina, Sicily. These are not easy times. Economic hardship following the economic crisis has hit our society and the middle class in particular. However, we must not go backwards with respect to the progresses made in the last years and decades. Protectionism is not a solution. Giving up the idea of an open and tolerant society is not a solution to hardship. In fact, it would worsen it. There is a broader concept that I believe can be applied also to the world of journalists today. And it is a concept very relevant for us, for Italians. I'm referring to the need to keep betting on our own identity and specializations. This is the key lesson of globalization from my point of view. Contrarily to early superficial interpretation, globalization makes national features more important, not less. Features include cultural traits, economic specializations, attitudes and social values. As Italian government, we carried out our economic program based on these principles, and the recent data shows, probably, that we were right. Growth rates and employment are slowly and gradually increasing, improving. A certain degree of optimism. Economy, in the special characteristic of our economy, manufacturing, capacity of technology, of export, we invested in culture and schools, so to maximize the opportunities for individuals and make the most of our human capital. Innovation happens when tradition evolves. Tradition can evolve only if a country or a profession is able to rightly use the new tools at its disposal. That's what journalism needs, perhaps. Now, that is perhaps what journalism is doing in many cases. In particular, the future of journalism and its ability to adapt to its new world depends on the human factor. Can we make a software write an article on the scoring of a football or a baseball match? Yes. And it has already happened, indeed. Can we ask a robot to do the same job as Carl Bernstein or Bob Woodward? I don't think so. Even if I don't want to challenge some smart engineers on the subject. But in principle, I don't think so. So the independence and strength of journalists must keep being a beacon for our democracies. Not despite, but because of the many and complex transformation of today's world. Therefore, today's debate on the future of newspaper is not just about business models. It calls into question the role of information in the era of new technologies, the possibility of still trusting who plays this role. There are often pessimistic interpretations on these issues, resulting on the great current debate on post-truth, an expression announced to be Oxford Dictionary's word of the year for 2016. Post-truth. The issue of the proliferation of fake news is certainly important, as acknowledged by the big internet giants who are raising the question of how to counter this phenomenon. But we must try to avoid catastrophic interpretation from my point of view. My generation remembers very well a time, not long ago, marked by such strong ideological opposition that it often distorted the interpretation of the facts in general. Therefore, to believe that we have all lived a golden age of truth, now lost forever, can be a comforting temptation in the face of many events of the present time, but it is forcing the hand of history. It is not completely true. Probably, instead of pursuing the myth of pure impartiality, it will be important to look for a model of journalism that is rooted in facts, rather than completely devoid of opinions. We need the will to overcome the divisions and go beyond one's mutual positions, to get out of our bubbles of consensus, to succeed in healing the ones of our societies. The idea to establish the States General of Publishing sector that I know has been launched today can give a good contribution to this matter. In this regard, the role of journalism in the 21st century will still be crucial. to find our bearings in the ocean of information sources overwhelming us, to refine our discernment. That's a word very often used by Pope Francis, and it is in the Jesuitic cultural tradition, the discernment. Our discernment skills, and to be able to distinguish the signal from the noise, being aware that in our time marked by contradiction and uncertainties, to quote George Orwell, to see what is in front of one's nose needs a constant struggle. Thank you for your attention.
Ehi, ciao bello, come hai detto? Sì, per forza. Chi? Ciao. Angelo Berrino, ciao caro. No, l'annunziata no.
Un'ora. Si chiama?
Io non la conosco, dopo quando come hai detto? Ho capito. Questo fa molto senso. Non ho capito il tuo nome.
Roberto Pennavoglio, sono il direttore editoriale